What's up, gamers and geeks? Matt here with That's Fair Podcasting and Gaming Geeks Live. Now in this video, I'm going to rank not the trilogies, but each of the 9 main Star Wars movies, just in my opinion. Yes, the last 3 from Disney with, the 9 Skywalker films basically is where I'm going. Now, as of the release of this video, it's pre-scheduled. I'm currently on a cruise in the Caribbean and the Panama Canal. So this is one of those pre-scheduled videos that I put out that I figured was, good, okay to put out because it's going to be hard to do current events while I'm on a cruise ship. But anyway, guys, stay tuned. I was a little kid. I was 5 years old when A New Hope dropped, and I saw it. It dropped in 1977, and I saw it in a drive-in, and that was a great experience. I'll never forget that. But as it is, I'm very critical as a Gen Xer when it comes to Star Wars because the massive influence that those films had as a kid, simply from the toy line, with the figures and the ships, to the video games and the comic books. So as a Warzy, I'm very critical, and it's not going to take a rocket scientist to figure out the way I rank these 9 Star Wars films. But if you are new here, please feel free to subscribe to That's Fair Podcasting or Gaming Geeks Live. Please like that video. I am at your mercy. You help me in that algorithm. And if you don't do any of those and you just watch, well, kind of a lesser important video that's because it's just my rankings of the 9 main Star Wars films, not counting Rogue One and Solo. Thank you for joining me and sticking with me. That's what matters the most. Now, I'm going to go from 9 to 1, worst to first. And this is going to be pretty easy. Number 9, the worst Star Wars film I have to throw out there is 2017's Star Wars The Last Jedi. Now, for obvious reasons, they screwed Luke over big time. Now, I was never a big Luke Skywalker fan anyway. I thought he was a whiny little bitch. And, in The Last Jedi, it's obviously this hologram or through the Force. I can't quite remember. I've only seen the Disney ones twice all the way through. So, I've got the other 6 memorized. But having said that, when you see Luke rushing off, they pussified him in such a terrible way because realistically, this guy ran from his problems. He was the main reason why, if the story holds true according to Disney, Ben Solo, or Kylo Ren, ultimately goes dark. And then he runs like a little bitch and hides on that remote planet. I mean, Disney, The Last Jedi was just absolute shit from the fighting sequences. And then, okay, rest in peace, Carrie Fisher. Always, all love. Would have rather had her been the main Jedi and not Luke. But when her flagship is attacked and through the Force, she sustains floating or flying into outer space. Disney, you fucked up, man. You fucked up, and you deserve the dog shit review that you get. I mean, I'm sorry, the first 3 are the worst, and they're all going to be Disney. No big surprise. Now, at number 8 is 2019's Rise of Skywalker. For good reason also. First of all, it should not have taken as long as it did for Rey to Force Hill when you had Jedi doing that shit in the Old Republic. Like, look at KOTOR. How many times did you have Bastila, even Revan or Mitra Surik in the second one? And all your other Jedi Force Hill and the shit out of us. I mean, come on, you had that shit. I mean, yeah, people are like, well, that's a video game. Yeah, I don't care. It's still the Star Wars galaxy, and it's the Old Republic era. So why did it take Rey so long? Why didn't you see other Jedi using Force Hill? I felt like we were getting ripped off there. I mean, really. And then another piece of shit was Palpatine's granddaughter was Rey? Get the fuck out of here. Okay, who were his children? Where was this at? You didn't see any of this in the prequels. I mean, when he was obviously Senator Palpatine, where the hell were his kids? I mean, I understand he's a Sith, and like, as you know, any Force users, your offspring could be a threat against you. But really? I mean, what in the hell? His granddaughter? And then he's still alive? Oh my, it was absolute shit. Disney actually screwed the pooch on this one. I kind of liked Kylo Ren's redemption arc, but I couldn't get into that character. And I love Adam. What is it, Adam Driver? But I couldn't stand Kylo Ren's character. I thought he was too wimpy and whiny. I mean, he could be bested by people that have no real training. I mean, what the fuck? But anyway, that's just my opinion. Now, at number 7 in 2015, Star Wars The Force Awakens. Now, the one positive was when I saw the Millennium Falcon for the first time, I mean, you got those Star Wars vibes, man. I guess the only good thing about these 3 Disney movies were the opening scene where it's 20th Century Fox type opening with the credits, gave you that old Star Wars feel, but that's where that shit stopped. And then killing of Han Solo. Now, I get it. That was Harrison Ford more than anybody wanting out. He opted out, which I don't blame him. I would have had my character killed too if Disney took over. He never would admit it's Disney, but let's be realistic. I mean, Disney can't, they don't have any market cornered on jack shit anymore. What is our president, Bob Iger, thinks he got? No. It's a mess, man. And The Force Awakens, okay, Rey is able to more or less, without killing Kylo Ren, defeat Kylo Ren with very little to no training, and you have a powerful Sith Lord. You see what I'm saying? You even had, like, what was his name? Finn. A pointless ass character. Like, what the hell was that? Just absolute dog shit. And he's able to stand up somewhat to these people with this sword wielding technique. And he was a wimpy ass stormtrooper. I mean, clearly he probably didn't have their aim, but that's not the point. The point is, obviously, my first 3 from worst to first are going to be the Disney films. No big surprise. Now, at number 6, I have 1999's Star Wars The Phantom Menace. Yes, The Phantom Menace is better than anything Disney's put out. Save for Rogue One. Rogue One is the best thing, in my opinion, that Disney has put out movie-wise for Star Wars. Solo is, got to see Emilia Clarke. That wasn't bad. But, I mean, realistically, a shit movie too. But, The Phantom Menace in 1999. Okay, the goods, okay, Darth Maul. Baby, we didn't get enough Darth Maul. He had, what, 2 lines in the movie? If the tracer was correct, we'll find them quickly, master. You know, that was one, and then he had, at last, we will have our revenge, you know. He didn't have enough lines. I mean, give Ray Park a little bit more airtime. He was badass as Darth Maul. And, you know, the pod races were kind of fun to watch. Don't get me wrong. The bad was I could not stand, what is his name, Jake Lloyd, who played Anakin. I thought it was just a piss poor Anakin performance. Now, I'm not dissing on the kid. I guess he's got all these problems. Can't escape the Anakin shadow. Well, boo fucking boo. But anyway, you know, The Phantom Menace also felt stale, very stagnant in many areas. And Jar Jar Binks, man. So that's a fail. And, you know, I didn't mind Gungan City under the water. Could have did the Gungans without Jar Jar. But yeah, that's just my opinion. But at number 5, I'm going to go with 2002's Attack of the Clones. Now, the upside is Padme Amidala. I actually like that character arc. And let's be realistic. Natalie Portman's nice to look at. But the other main things I did like about Attack of the Clones, it started delving more into the Jedi Order. We got to see more of them. You know, and you got some good duels in there. I really appreciated watching Obi-Wan Kenobi, you know, fighting Jango Fett on Kamino. That was a hell of a battle. They gave Jango Fett a little bit much there, but Mace Windu corrected that shit, I believe, in the arena on Geonosis. But, you know, it was, and then the duel of Count Dooku with Anakin and Obi-Wan was pretty good, and then watching Yoda for the first time really get into it. So there was some really good there. Bad was, I didn't really care for Hayden Christensen in Attack of the Clones. When the next one came along, I liked him a lot better. But yeah, 2002 is at number 5. At number 4, I'm going to go with Revenge of the Sith. I know I'm putting all the trilogies together, but that's just the way I see it, man. I can't help it. Yeah, that's that's what I'm going to do. Number 4 is Revenge of the Sith. Now, great duels, especially between Obi-Wan and Anakin. Loved watching the ultimate transformation from Anakin into Vader. I thought it felt rushed. Didn't like how it was rushed. But again, watching execute Order 66 by Palpatine to the clones, I didn't like it. Okay, look, you have these clone troopers. I get it. They're highly trained. You know, they're all clones on Kamino. The Jedi were wiped out too easy. I mean, it's like, I understand that the dark side clouds your vision. I get that the dark side cloud Jedi's vision, but there should have been a little bit more survival. as far as some of the Jedi. I hated seeing Ayla Secura, Kidi Mundi. And then I didn't like how quickly Palpatine dispatched some of the three main Jedi. What were they? Were they Aegon Collar, Kit Fisto, and I don't remember the last one. But there were three that he dispatched almost right away. And then, Mace Windu and him had that battle with it, until Anakin intervened. But yeah, at number 4, Revenge of the Sith. Now, at number 3 is going to be Return of the Jedi. I wasn't big on the closure of the Star Wars original trilogy with Return of the Jedi. Luke was growing, that was nice, and I did like the shock of you finding out that they were siblings, even though in the one before that they kissed. Little banjo music in Star Wars, I guess. But having said that, you had the Ewoks undoing the Galactic Empire. The Ewoks with their logs and I didn't mind the Ewoks, but for them to basically be the primary reason why they bailed out the rebellion and defeated, on the forest moon of Endor, I could not get into the Ewoks to be good enough to defeat the Empire. It is what it is. But again, there was some shock value to Return of the Jedi, and you did get to see the redemption of Darth Vader. So that's at number 3, with number 2 being 1977 Star Wars A New Hope. Again, I was 5. That's where the influence started. You had this huge open universe with these new characters, this new concept by George Lucas. Everything was new. Preceded by a badass toy line. I remember being around the same age, getting the Death Star space station for Christmas, and the Millennium Falcon, and the X-Wing. So you got to see the introduction to a wonderful, wonderful franchise in so many ways. There's really no weakness. My favorite actor in that was Sir Alec Guinness, rest in peace. He did a great Obi-Wan. The lightsaber duel did not age well. I don't see him standing up very long at all. Now, they did a redo of that lightsaber. We've all seen it by now. Well done, well done. But A New Hope is number 2 with so many reasons. And number 1, the greatest Star Wars film of all time is 1980's Empire Strikes Back. Now, granted, this is all my opinion, but The Empire Strikes Back by far. You had, the shock value, finding out Darth Vader is the father to Luke. And you're just like, that was a gut punch, man, because they're right there on Bespin having that final duel. No, Luke, I am your father. And then the cliffhanger that was left off with Han Solo frozen in carbonite, you're like, what the fuck? We will test it on Captain Solo. And you're like, man, leave him alone. So it's like, what the, Boba Fett's taking off with Han Solo. We're in limbo. Luke lost a hand. 3PO's in pieces, which I didn't really care about that. But the thing is, the rebellion was in shambles. You knew it was going to be made right. But the battles, the Hoth battle from the AT-ATs with the snow speeders, wonderful battles. Again, you had the final duel between Vader and Luke on Bespin, the city in the clouds. It is, to me, in 1980, Empire Strikes Back, to me, is the greatest Star Wars movie of all time, still to date. And as long as Disney has their hooks sunk into it, it's never going to be beat. The original trilogy was, of course, the original trilogy was going to be the last 3. In that order, though, I had to do it. I had to do it in that order as far as the last trilogy, with, again, worst to first in the original trilogy, Return of the Jedi, then A New Hope, because Empire Strikes Back was hard to beat. But where do you guys rank the Star Wars trilogy? I'd like to hear it from you guys in the comments section, please. Again, right now I'm on a cruise, so when I get back, I'm going to check these videos out, and I'm going to answer everybody, I promise. So give me your thoughts of the 9 rankings in the comments section. But guys, that's really all I have. Please feel free to subscribe to That's Fair Podcasting or Gaming Geeks Live. Please like the video, help me in that algorithm. And if you don't do any of those and you just watch this video, thank you so much. That's all that matters the most. And to you gamers and everybody out there, all love, and I'm out.